Everyone is starting to be less speechless after seeing the difference between the rich side of Coachella versus the poor side of Coachella. Starting off with the rich side of Coachella, you got people like Sophie Rain spending well over $200,000 to go to Coachella without even blinking an eye. Then you got influencers being invited to Coachella by many brands, staying in some really nice houses with all their expenses being paid for throughout the entire time they're there. And then finally you have people like Kylie Jenner taking a private jet to Coachella, staying in the nicest house you probably have ever seen in your entire life. And of course, all of them get to stand front row for all the performances at Coachella. And then you got the poor side of Coachella, the people that were saving up money throughout the entire year, barely having enough to be able to go, sleeping in like the smallest tents ever while sweating 24/7, waiting in line for hours to take a shower, sometimes not even being able to take a shower because the showers at Coachella close at 7. Then, of course, eating warm food, drinking warm drinks, and sometimes even sleeping on the floor near the stage to try to get the best seats in the house before everyone else. The experience if you're rich going to Coachella versus the experience when you're poor going to Coachella is truly night and day, that is for sure, and I'm really curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
Seeing the difference between rich people camping at Coachella and non-rich people is so funny because I just saw a video of this rich guy doing an antique style for his camping or whatever, and he brought in expensive ass decorations, had it all lined up like it just looked really expensive. And meanwhile, I've seen people who aren't rich struggling in that hot ass heat with just a fan and 2 blankets. And then I also saw a video of the rich people in their showers, they can pay for this sort of private shower thing. Meanwhile, the people who don't got that money, they're waiting in these lines for an hour and a half just to bathe themselves. And in the rich people setups, they have everything. They have real beds, they have snacks, food, some of them have couches. It makes it feel like it's actually a home, even though they're still at Coachella. And it's funny because I've seen so many videos about how the wait times have been insane, or the food prices are outrageous. But the rich people, they don't deal with that. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was going to Coachella, I would have to do it their way. And I just feel like their experience is probably a lot more enjoyable and also more calm, right? Because they're not dealing with so many other people, having to wait in these really long lines. And when it comes to the prices, they can just buy it. They're not stressing over how much they want to spend. They're just doing this. They're camping because they want to camp. A lot of other people are camping because that's their really only option for where to stay.
Here's the true picture between the rich side of Coachella versus the poor side of Coachella. Starting off with the rich side of Coachella, you got people like Sophie Rain spending well over $200,000 to go to Coachella without even blinking an eye. Then you got influencers being invited to Coachella by many brands, staying in some really nice houses with all their expenses being paid for throughout the entire time they're there. And then finally, you have people like Kylie Jenner taking a private jet to Coachella, staying in the nicest house you probably have ever seen in your entire life. And of course, all of them get to stand front row for all the performances at Coachella. And then you got the poor side of Coachella, the people that were saving up money throughout the entire year, barely having enough to be able to go sleeping in the smallest tents ever, while sweating 24/7, waiting in line for hours to take a shower. Sometimes not even being able to take a shower because the showers at Coachella close at 7. Then, of course, eating warm food, drinking warm drinks, and sometimes even sleeping on the floor near the stage to try to get the best seats in the house before everyone else. The experience, if you're rich going to Coachella versus the experience when you're poor going to Coachella, is truly night and day, that is for sure. And I'm really curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
Hold on.
Here's a little tour of the camping safari area. People bring their inflatable pools and fill them up, and it's really cute.
I guess that shows how little I pay attention to Coachella. Because you mean to tell me that it's not all just slums? I literally just watched a video of just this guy being surrounded by people coughing and the wind just gustling. Hold on, I'll try to find the video.
At night when I go to bed, this is how I set up my space. And I'm gonna close this. Anyway.
I always knew that there were high level, A-list celebrities and all that stuff that goes to Coachella to have a good time. And, even people who aren't celebrities but also have just a lot of money, more money than they know what to do with. But they have actual little lined up neighborhoods and stuff. They have addresses on each of their little tents. They have 105, 109, 106, all that, all that stuff to be hey, this is my residence. Damn! In my head, I just thought the whole thing was just a wasteland. I don't know, Mad Max, Burning Man. I have no idea what the fuck I thought, but woo-wee, that place looks like it got an HOA.
Seeing the difference between rich people camping at Coachella and non-rich people is so funny because I just saw a video of this like rich guy doing an antique style for his camping or whatever, and he brought in expensive ass decorations, had it all lined up, like it just looked really expensive. And meanwhile, I've seen people who aren't rich struggling in that hot ass heat with just a fan and 2 blankets. And then I also saw a video of like the rich people in their showers, like they can like, you know, pay for like this like sort of like private shower thing. Meanwhile, the people who don't got that money, they're waiting in these lines for like an hour, hour and a half just to bathe themselves. And then the rich people setups, they have everything. Like they have real beds, they have snacks, food, some of them have couches. Like it makes it feel like it's actually a home even though they're still at Coachella. And it's funny because I've seen so many videos about how like the wait times have been like insane or like the food prices are outrageous. But the rich people, they don't deal with that. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was going to Coachella, I would have to do it their way. And I just feel like their experience is probably a lot more enjoyable and also more calm, right? Because they're not dealing with so many other people like having to wait in these like really long lines. And when it comes to the prices, they can just buy it. They're not stressing over how much they want to spend. They're just doing this. They're camping because they want to camp. A lot of other people are camping because that's their really only option for where to stay.
My name is Derek. I am 42 and I'm from Orange County.
What brings you to Coachella?
We've been Coachella regular since like 2010. Okay. It's just a reset button every year.
And how much do you guys pay?
I think we paid 10 for the room for 2, and I think if you add 2 more, I think it's like maybe 4 each, or there's a little discount.
Is the safari campground worth it?
I would like to say no just because I don't want people to come, but I think, no, I'm just kidding. No, I think it's totally worth it. We earned our stripes. We did the GA route. We did, rent the house, and safari is a good balance of kind of that luxury accommodation plus getting to be on the field. There's nothing like it.
And what's your favorite perk you get from getting the safari?
The check-in is so smooth, right? Like, we have friends camping 5, 6 hours, 10 hours. They come at 4 in the morning. We just cruise in. Everybody's so nice. Staff is amazing. They all treat you so well.
And who are you most excited to see?
LA Phil. They're gonna be awesome.
And what do you do for work?
I'm an attorney.
You went to law school, everything?
I did all that boring stuff so I could come out and do this stuff.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely. Play hard, party hard type of deal, right?
I heard law school is super tough.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'll tell you that for sure. But a lot of reading. You meet some cool people and then you learn the system, so it's good.
Would you go back and do it again?
I think so, yeah. I think it's good to have that degree to protect yourself, protect your family.
And what type of law do you specialize in?
Personal injury.
What's the biggest settlement you've had?
Maybe like 100,000, 150 maybe, yeah.
How much do you make from that?
1/3 of that usually goes to me, yeah.
Would you be willing to share ballpark how much you make in a year?
Maybe anywhere between 120 to 200, just every year is different.
What advice would you give to people watching this video?
Come out to Coachella, man. If you haven't been, it's worth doing it once. You're never gonna have a bad time. Come with an open mind, good vibes, meet a bunch of people, discover some new music, see some of your favorites, put it in your schedule, make it happen.
How much do you guys spend on this whole safari experience?
So this was like 15,000.
Come on in. So we get a nice king bed. It's decked out. We got like an ice machine, an espresso in the corner. They give us a nice little fridge so we can put some ice cream in there. Boop. Ooh. You get a little dining area right over here. During the day, you can actually put on the YouTube channel because they stream the stages.
Those are the residences, so those are $15,000 for the 4-night stay. And over there, those are the yurts. Those are the most expensive ones. I think those are like $30,000 or $40,000. Absolutely crazy. Over here's the main safari, so that's where all the meals are. They service breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night meals. When you get a safari tent like this, it comes with a free 30-minute massage. Those are where the massages are being done.
Everyone is starting to be less speechless after seeing the difference between the rich side of Coachella versus the poor side of Coachella. Starting off with the rich side of Coachella, you got people like Sophie Rain spending well over $200,000 to go to Coachella without even blinking an eye. Then you got influencers being invited to Coachella by many brands, staying in some really nice houses with all their expenses being paid for throughout the entire time they're there. And then finally you have people like Kylie Jenner taking a private jet to Coachella, staying in the nicest house you probably have ever seen in your entire life. And of course, all of them get to stand front row for all the performances at Coachella. And then you got the poor side of Coachella, the people that were saving up money throughout the entire year, barely having enough to be able to go, sleeping in like the smallest tents ever while sweating 24/7, waiting in line for hours to take a shower, sometimes not even being able to take a shower because the showers at Coachella close at 7. Then, of course, eating warm food, drinking warm drinks, and sometimes even sleeping on the floor near the stage to try to get the best seats in the house before everyone else. The experience if you're rich going to Coachella versus the experience when you're poor going to Coachella is truly night and day, that is for sure, and I'm really curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
It's just like every hot girl every hot girl is freeloading Coachella. That's what you don't understand. Every hot girl is freeloading Coachella. When you look at these guys, these famous dudes, and all these hot girls, all these famous girls, all these Instagram model girls at their Coachella, It's because they spent an extra $15K to get a couple girls in, and all the girls are like freeloading off it. You guys didn't even know this. You guys didn't even know this. You thought the girls were paying for tickets, bro. No. Every dude you see with a bunch of baddies at Coachella paid an extra like 20 bands just to have women around him to order for him.
Would you be willing to share how much you guys paid for like the whole Coachella experience?
I'll give you an honest answer. I paid 41 grand for 4 people.
Is it worth it?
Yes and no. The pros is that I'm on site. I specifically got it to be on site and also for the artist passes. But I kind of expected the artist pass to have way more than what it does. It's a big cluster of people. I thought we'd have space, but there's not.
The interesting thing about Coachella this year is that it's so clear people that cosplay as wealthy. And I've said this time and time again, Instagram and social media and really everything online is just so fucking fake. And I see these people that are literally making like $80,000 in these safari camping tents that are $10,000 plus. It's like, why the fuck are you spending an eighth of your salary, gross salary, may I add, at Coachella for 2 days, 3 days? Like, people cosplaying as wealthy online never ceases to make me LOL. It's like, it's just fake. I don't know, maybe I'm just a hater, maybe it's the CPA in me because I'm an accountant, but like, you guys are just fake.
Happy Coachella. Okay, so you can stay at my guest house.
Are you sure it can pay you?
It's fine, I just use it to hold my clothes anyways. My dad got it as a tax write-off. Come on. So did you take your plane out here too?
I don't have a plane.
Classic, you got grounded too? My dad made me take the helicopter out here to teach me to be more economical. I feel like I have nothing to wear. Ugh, I'm screwed.
What are your options?
I don't know, either Dior, Valentino, or Jacquemus. I know, I barely have any options. We're not waiting in this line. My dad paid for this party. I like Weekend One because it's like more expensive and exclusive. Like if you don't have a public Instagram and a publicly traded company, then what are you even doing here, you know? Okay, so how do I convince my dad to get us all artist passes? Should I say it's like a safety issue? I mean, I genuinely feel like GA is like being in the wild. Wait, you didn't get approved for Neon Carnival? Are you ugly?
No.
Poor?
I don't think so.
Dad, we can't get GA passes to Coachella. That's social suicide.
These are the 3 most expensive tents at Coachella this year. Number 1 literally costs more than a car. Number 3 are the Safari Shakir style tents. These come with canvas style wood floors, a mini fridge, and even air conditioning. They sleep up to 2 people and cost $9,000. 2 are the Safari Cabanas. These are just a fancier version of the last one, but these ones come with a mini fridge and a full-size bed. They sleep 2 to 4 people and cost $12,000. Number 1 is called the Resort at Coachella, and it's a luxury yurt, which is just a giant circle tent. These also have full-size beds, but they come with a living room and a private shower, which is crazy considering you're just in the middle of the desert. You also get golf carts to drive around in. These sleep up to 4 people and cost $41,000. That's literally more than my car, so that's why.
I've been getting a lot of comments from people who are talking about how everyone who camps at Coachella is rich, which is kind of funny. I mean, I'm sure that there are people who have a lot of money there, no doubt. But car camping is actually the most affordable way to go to Coachella. Car camping passes start at $150. After fees, it's around $175, and that's for the entire weekend. Usually you're camping with 2 or more people, so split for the entire weekend, that's really doable. There's also a preferred car camping option, which is a little more expensive, but I don't necessarily recommend doing that, especially if you're a first timer. All of the spaces are the same size. They're all 10 by 30 feet. No matter if you get preferred or a regular car camping pass, they are all the same size. Camping is also great because you save money by taking your food and alcohol. Every year I prep all of our food and we take all of our alcohol, so once we get there, we don't spend any money. Coachella can actually be really affordable as long as you know how to do it right.
What is your biggest financial flex?
My Rolex. I gave it to him today.
Oh, okay. Oh, period. And he
Paid off my car.
Oh, period.
I have designer bags that I don't wear that just sit on a shelf.
Probably coming to Coachella. Yay!
My name is James. I'm 37 years old. I'm from Palo Alto, California.
How many times have you done safari?
This is my 3rd time doing safari.
Is it worth it?
Yes, it's worth it for sure.
So you guys got a cabana. How much was it?
It was $12,000.
And it's worth it?
I think it's worth it, yeah.
Why?
The community here, I think I just meet a lot of interesting people. I don't know, it's just a really good vibe. I think it's really positive. Everyone here just loves music and wants to have a good time.
So what do you do for work?
I sell real estate.
How long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing that for 15, 16 years. I started selling in 2009.
To inspire the audience, would you be willing to share like the most expensive house you've ever sold?
The most expensive house I've sold was $15 million.
What's the commission on that?
It was a good commission.
Six figures. What's your advice for people that want to get into the industry?
First of all, be super realistic about what it takes to break in. 85% of agents are out of the business in 18 months. Because while there is a lot of potential for lucrativity, there's a lot of potential to be in debt, right? Because if you don't sell anything, you don't make any money. Right. But when you are listing a home, you're paying for the 3D tour, you're paying for the aerial footage, you're paying for the ads. And if you don't sell the house, you don't get recouped. And another thing I hear a lot is I can make my own schedule, which is like sort of true in the sense that there's no boss, it's no 9 to 5, but I think that there is a lot of time sacrifice. I think it's very, very quickly can become a 24-hour, 7 days a week, all year long.
So what are your names, age, and where are you guys from?
My name is Bobak, I'm 42, and I'm from San Jose, California.
I'm Kate, I'm 38, and I'm from Orange County.
Obviously, this whole safari thing is quite expensive. I think people are curious, what do you guys do for work to be able to splurge on this?
I work for an app platform company.
I'm in event management.
Would you say safari is worth it for the price? Because 10, 12K?
It's worth it for the experience, for being able to stay in the venue in a little bit more comfort. And, you know, maybe one of the best sort of perks is the golf carts that kind of get you around the venue sometimes.
It's also really nice to be able to take breaks throughout the day.
How do you guys keep learning?
Oh, just constantly reading any chance I get, whether it's articles or books, you know, with new information.
I would say find friends that also have that mentality, because then you're always sharing ideas with each other.
How do you invest your money?
Look for things that are undervalued and just don't buy and sell. Hold. Diamond hands.
Find companies that you believe in and invest in them and know that it's a long-term game.
Who are you guys most excited to see today?
Yo Gabba Gabba. They're playing at the height of the heat of the day, and one of them's wearing aluminum foil, and I don't know what's going to happen.
This is what a £7,000 wristband gets you at Coachella. So one thing you get for Artist Pass is you get a very own specialized entry. This is the normal entrance that everyone else goes through. This you cut through way quicker. You want to scan your wristband here. Ready? It's going to go red though. There you go. So much quicker than VIP or normal. These are all like the artist sections. We can actually get on one of these. Water for free as well. I needed that. It's another perk of artist. Next up is golf cart. You basically get in queue here. They allocate a buggy for you depending on where you want to go. Okay, getting on the buggy now. So the buggy, smack my back. This is, I think, one of the biggest perks. So we're literally fast tracking all of that and going back here. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. That is such a hack. You basically get free reign of all these back roads to get to places. Another thing, you get your own sort of entrance to the stage to go through these entrances with your pass. Thank you. You have your own alleyway that you walk down to a separate section of the stage. And you immediately get close to the stage. I'm so close to the stage. Have loads of chill areas over here with like sofas that you can chill in. You also have all of the caravans for where all the artists stay.
Guess how much Kylie Jenner spent on her trip to Coachella? The final amount is truly beyond ordinary people's imagination. A recent video of her at Coachella made countless people envious. Her long hair is healthy and shiny, and everyone says it's the kind of hair only rich people can have. In contrast, ordinary attendees have to wait in line for hours just to take a shower. The difference is like night and day. So, do you know how much Kylie paid for this trip? First, tickets. A Coachella VIP pass costs around $1,300. But as a celebrity, Kylie has an artist guest pass and doesn't need to pay for tickets at all. Instead, Coachella relies on her to boost its popularity. Second, accommodation, transportation, and food. She lives in a luxurious mansion in Palm Springs, which is the most popular accommodation choice for celebrities attending Coachella, allowing her to completely avoid the sweltering heat. Staying for 3 to 4 days costs about $250,000. She also flew there on her private jet, Kylie Air, which cost $80,000 just for the flight. Ordinary people, however, can only squeeze into tents or even sleep on the ground near the stages to get good spots, and they only get warm food and non-cold drinks. Last, during these few days, Kylie spent nearly $400,000 on bodyguards. They stay right by her side, no more than 5 feet away, take high-quality photos for her, and keep her safe the whole time. In just one Coachella trip, Kylie spent what an ordinary person earns in...
How much does it cost to come to Coachella?
Probably $30,000.
I got in for free. We just had to pay for the Airbnb, but my boyfriend paid for it.
Oh my god. Oh.
Tickets around $1,000, plane ticket around like $500. So with that and all food,
way too much for the economy right now.
Yeah.
Okay, not to sound like a hater or anything right now, because I've done the whole Coachella thing and I absolutely loved it, but we did a little bit more high maintenance. There is such a wealth disparity that is so funny to watch right now on my TikTok feed. So you have all the influencers that are just being sent their own sponsorships, or they clearly have the cash to deal out for VIP, the villas, the Airbnbs, and you can clearly see them being a lot more comfortable than those that are undergoing the accommodations right now for general access. Like, it's so crazy. How is it fun to be waiting 45 minutes, an hour plus in like grueling heat, just surrounded by bodies, waiting for showers, in lines for everything? I'm sorry, unless you have the money to just have that convenience of not being surrounded by anyone, or just be a little bit more cozy, have things readily available to you that's like quick and easy, it just looks awful. I don't know. I feel like it's just like a facade now for people to feel better about themselves, take pictures that they're there. Anywho, my thoughts.
A $220 million a year institution built by a company that in the beginning had nothing. No amphitheater, no assets, just a competitor that had bought everything around them in a field nobody else wanted. First, let's set the scene. It's 1999, a company called Golden Voice wants to start a music festival. They can't own an amphitheater, they have no assets. The big players have already bought every major venue around them. And then the founder, Paul Tollett, says, well, there's a field everywhere. Just find it and let's put some creativity into it. So they found a polo field in the desert and Coachella was born. It lost $850,000 the first year. Tollett sold his house to cover it. And over 25 years later, the average attendee spends $2,000 before they even see a single performance. Number one, your constraint is the unlock. Tollett couldn't go and own an amphitheater. No major venue would have him. And most people would fight that and spend years to years trying to go head to head with the competition. But Tollett leaned into it. No venue meant no rules, and no rules meant he could build something that nobody else had built. So the constraint directed the creativity to true differentiation. A polo field in the desert became the only festival you had to travel to. The distance created commitment, and that commitment created belonging, and the belonging became the product. The takeaway here for you is stop fighting your constraints. What limitations are you stressed about that could actually be the thing that sets you apart? And number two, that constraint sharpened the position in the market. The field forced 3 decisions that built the whole thing. First, it had to be a destination. People were driving 2 hours into the desert. They weren't day tripping. They were committing. So Tollett built for 3 days around the show, not just the show itself. Second, since people were traveling to this field, Tollett said that the lineup had to be a must-see. His exact words were, do you have to go to see this? Or can you just look at the lineup and go, I can skip this? In the beginning, he booked artists with fiercely loyal niche audiences before they had crossed over. Not the biggest names, the ones with the most loyal followings that he knew they would drive 2 hours into the desert for. And the third thing, the experience had to justify the trip. So he built around what happened between performances, the art installations, the campsite neighbors, the world you inhabited, that feeling you couldn't get anywhere else. So again, that field that nobody wanted forced him to build something that nobody could replicate. The takeaway here for you is, what constraints are shaping your positioning right now? And are you leaning into them and working hard to find true differentiation, or are you fighting them? Now, this is just part of the art of how Coachella was built and differentiated. I'm going to do a part 2 that breaks down the science of how it survived and grew into what it is today. See you on part 2.
Seeing the difference between rich people camping at Coachella and non-rich people is so funny, because I just saw a video of this like rich guy doing an antique style for his camping or whatever, and he brought in expensive ass decorations, had it all lined up, like it just looked really expensive. And meanwhile, I was seeing people who aren't rich struggling in that hot ass heat with just a fan and 2 blankets. And then I also saw a video of like the rich people in their showers, like they can like, you know, pay for like this like sort of like private shower thing. Meanwhile, the people who don't got that money, they're waiting in these lines for like an hour, hour and a half just to bathe themselves. And then the rich people setups, they have everything. Like they have real beds, they have snacks, food, some of them have couches. Like it makes it feel like it's actually a home, even though they're still at Coachella. And it's funny because I've seen so many videos about how like the wait times have been like insane, or like the food prices are outrageous. But the rich people, they don't deal with that. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was going to Coachella, I would have to do it their way. And I just feel like their experience is probably a lot more enjoyable and also more calm, right? Because they're not dealing with so many other people, like having to wait in these like really long lines. And when it comes to the prices, they can just buy it. They're not stressing over how much they want to spend. They're just doing this. They're camping because they want to camp. A lot of other people are camping because that's their really only option for where to stay.
Bro, I didn't realize that Coachella was that expensive. Okay, I thought it was like, okay, maybe like 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. I thought max 10,000. max 10,000. मैंने सोचा कि it would be like 30, 40. I didn't think it would be 30, 40,000. People are spending $100,000 for literally 3 days, 2 days. What? Bro, can I borrow some money? Can I borrow some money? I could like pay off my debt. Like, they're not getting a house. It's like a box. It's like a box. And what? Like, the amount of things I could do with 30,000, okay? You could go, I don't know, travel. You could go to Belgium. You could go to Tomorrowland in less than 5. Okay, maybe like 6,000, okay? That's with the stay, everything. You could do so many things. You could travel the world. 40, that is way too much for a festival. That's crazy.